So you landed an interview for an assistant lecturer position.
Congratulations.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
We're going to dive deep into RoleCatcher's guides today
Okay.
to help you really nail these interview questions.
Awesome.
Think of this as your prep session,
I like it.
going beyond just what to say to understanding why those answers matter.
Yeah. And like why it matters to you and why it matters to the people interviewing you.
Exactly.
Because it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
You know, you want to tailor it to them and to yourself as well.
absolutely. And applying for any academic job can feel kind of like a black box.
It really can.
So RoleCatcher gives us that X-ray vision into what's going on.
Gives you the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing that can be a little bit deceptive is this title, assistant lecturer.
Yeah.
It can sound a little bit like,
It does.
oh, you're like an assistant.
Yeah.
But it's not like being an assistant in any other field.
It's not at all.
Right.
It is a full-fledged academic role
Absolutely.
with really a ton of autonomy. You're balancing teaching,
You're doing research.
you're mentoring
You're
students.
doing it all.
The triple threat.
Yeah, the triple threat.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into the heart of it.
Okay.
Interview questions.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher's Career Guide lays out some really common ones,
It does.
and we're going to unpack them one by one.
Okay.
But I think even before we do that,
Yeah.
it's helpful to think about the narrative that you're building in the interview.
Yes.
What's the main message that you want to get across?
Totally. And that's such a good point because I think sometimes we can go into these interviews just thinking like
Facts.
facts, figures,
Robocon.
dates, you know?
Yeah.
But you're actually crafting a narrative, a compelling story
Yeah.
that showcases your skills, your passions, and your unique value
Yep.
that you bring to this department.
And RoleCatcher AI can help you with that narrative.
It can.
It analyzes job descriptions and can make suggestions for how to tailor your answers,
Yeah.
but also your CV to really highlight
Yeah.
the specific things that they're looking for.
It's amazing. It really is like having a personalized coach in your pocket.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into some questions.
Okay.
Classic question.
Yes.
Tell us about your teaching experience.
Oh, the dreaded one.
I know, but it's actually, I think, a really good opportunity.
It is a really good opportunity.
How do you think people should approach this question?
I think instead of thinking about it as like listing off every single place that you've taught,
Yeah.
think about it from their perspective.
Okay.
They're hiring you for a job.
Right.
They want to see experience so they know that you can do the job.
So how do you demonstrate that?
Give them some really good details about what you did.
So don't just say, like, I taught this course
Yeah.
at this university.
Exactly.
Give them the juicy details.
Give them the juicy details.
What were some things that you did to innovate your teaching methods?
Exactly.
To design a really engaging activity?
Did you use new technologies?
Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Did you get any good student feedback?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Highlight that student feedback if you have it.
Yes.
Especially really positive student feedback that really highlights
What's your impact?
your impact and how you helped the students.
Yeah. Did they say that your class sparked a new interest
Yes.
in a topic?
Or help them grasp a concept.
Yeah.
Those are the stories that are really going to
Stick with them.
stick with the interviewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also shows that you're thinking about student learning.
Yes.
Like you care.
It shows that you care and that you're reflective about your teaching.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This actually reminds me of something in RoleCatcher's Getting Started guide.
Okay.
They mention that even if you're fresh out of grad school, you probably have more experience
Than you think.
than you think.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might have been leading a study group or TAing or tutoring.
Presenting at a conference.
All of that is valuable experience.
It all is, and it can all be framed in a way that really highlights those teaching skills.
So don't sell yourself short.
Oh.
You've got this.
You do.
Now, there's often a follow-up question to that.
Uh.
That's something like, how have your teaching responsibilities evolved over time?
Ooh. Good one.
What do you think about that one?
I think that that's where you really show like your growth trajectory.
Okay.
So like, have you moved from assisting with lectures to developing your own courses?
Mm-hmm.
Have you taken on more responsibility for curriculum design or assessment?
Yeah. Have you mentored other teachers?
Exactly.
Highlight those things.
Highlight those things.
And you can actually connect that back to the career stages section.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
The guidance.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself fitting in?
Yeah.
Like, are you aiming for a lectureship?
Yeah. Do you want to be department chair someday?
Yeah, showing that ambition can be really
It
impressive.
can. It
Yeah.
shows that you're thinking long term
Yeah.
and that you really see this role
Yeah.
as a stepping stone to greater contributions.
Okay, another question that comes up often.
Yeah.
How do you stay current with the latest teaching methods and developments in your field?
Good one.
This is all about continuous learning.
It is, but I think it's so easy to fall into cliches with this one.
Yeah. What are some specific things that people can highlight to really stand out?
I think going beyond just journals and conferences,
Okay.
which we all do, we all read those.
Yeah.
But are you part of any online communities,
That's good.
forums, social media groups?
Yeah.
Where educators are sharing ideas and resources. Have you taken any online courses?
Have you gone to any webinars?
Webinars, exactly.
Okay, because that shows that you're proactive
Yes.
and resourceful.
Yes.
You're not just relying on your institution to provide
Exactly.
the professional development.
100%.
And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful.
No, I was going to say, that is the perfect place to plug that.
I know. It can analyze the job description and suggest skills or areas of expertise to emphasize.
Yeah.
So, for example, if they're looking for someone with experience in online teaching,
Right.
maybe it suggests that you highlight
Uh-huh.
that virtual teaching community that you're a part of.
Exactly. It takes all the guesswork out of tailoring your response.
It really does.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to a question that's near and dear to my heart.
Oh, let's hear it.
What is your teaching philosophy?
Oh, this is a good one.
This is your time to shine.
It is your chance to really articulate those core beliefs about teaching and learning.
But I think a lot of people get stuck in the weeds
They do.
of like theory.
Theory.
How do you make it more personal and engaging?
I think by thinking about it as a conversation that you're having rather than a lecture that you're delivering. So instead of just regurgitating educational theory, share a specific anecdote that illustrates your approach.
Okay, give me an example.
So let's say you believe in active learning. Instead of saying, I value active learning, tell a story about a time that you designed an activity that got your students really engaged and sparked a lively discussion.
Bring it to life.
Bring it to life.
Don't just use the buzzwords.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And this is another area where RoleCatcher sample answers in the interview guide
Yes.
can be really helpful.
They can.
Give you that framework.
A framework, yeah.
But you still need to make it your own.
We do.
Inject your own personality and experience.
You got to make it yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a harder one.
Okay, hit me.
How do you ensure that students from diverse backgrounds
Oh, good one.
feel included and valued in your classroom?
That's a really important question.
This is a key question
It is.
in today's academic world.
Yeah, and it's a question where I think actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
So I would avoid saying things like,
I treat everyone equally.
exactly.
Yeah.
Instead, give a concrete example
Give me an example.
of how you've fostered an inclusive learning environment.
So what are some things that you've done
Yeah,
to adapt your teaching to different learning styles
exactly.
or cultural backgrounds?
Maybe you had a student who was struggling
Yeah.
and you took the time to really understand their individual needs and provide extra support.
Or incorporated diverse perspectives into your curriculum.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just teaching the classic Western canon, but
Right, bringing in other voices,
bringing in other voices.
different perspectives.
Yeah. And what about accessibility?
Oh, huge.
Yeah. Have you ever worked with disability services
Yes,
to make sure a student has equal access
that's huge.
to learning materials and activities?
Really, really important.
Yeah, those are all powerful examples of your commitment to inclusion.
They are. And again, this is where RoleCatcher's AI
It helped.
can be so helpful.
Yeah.
It can analyze that job description and suggest specific keywords or phrases.
So like culturally responsive teaching, universal design for learning.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's like having a cheat sheet to make sure that you're speaking their language.
Yes.
And demonstrating that you're aligned with their values.
Okay, let's do another tricky one.
Okay.
Describe a time when you had to manage a difficult classroom situation.
Oh, we've all been there.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to tell my story because
Save it for later.
it's a long one.
Yeah.
How should people approach this question?
I think by framing it positively.
Okay.
So instead of dwelling on the negative,
Yeah.
what did you learn from that experience?
So it's not about pretending you are perfect.
Yeah.
It's about showing,
Growth.
yes, you can handle challenges
Yes.
gracefully.
And professionally,
Yes.
pick a situation.
Yeah.
Outline what the challenges were, describe the steps you took to address it,
Uh-huh.
and then the positive outcome.
And even if it didn't resolve perfectly,
Exactly.
you can still demonstrate
You learned something.
problem solving.
You grew as an educator.
Yeah, and RoleCatcher's AI can give you feedback
It can.
on your answer.
Yeah, you can practice answering this question,
Yeah.
get personalized feedback.
Yeah, it's like having a mock interview.
It is like that.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground.
We have.
Let's take a quick break and then we'll come back
Okay.
with more tips to help you ace this interview.
Sounds good. All right, let's jump back into some of these questions.
Okay.
The next one we'll look at is, can you describe a time when you had to modify your teaching approach to accommodate a student's learning needs?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, this one really gets at the heart of student-centered teaching.
Yeah, it's about showing that you care
You care. Yeah,
and that you're willing to go the extra mile for every student
exactly.
to help them be successful.
100%. So as you prepare for this question, think about specific situations where you went above and beyond for your students.
Yeah.
Did you have a student who was struggling with a particular concept and you created like alternative assignments or found new ways to explain the material?
Or maybe worked with the student who had a disability
Yes?
and needed some accommodations
Yeah.
to fully participate in class.
Those are great examples. And remember, it's not just about what you did, but also about the outcome.
Yeah. How did it help the student?
Yeah, how did your modifications help the student succeed?
Uh,
What did you learn from that experience?
What did you learn from it? Yeah.
That you can carry forward into your future teaching.
Because sometimes our first attempt isn't perfect.
And that's okay.
Right, but it's about that willingness to adapt and continuously improve.
Exact.
That makes a difference.
Improvement is key.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about assessment.
Okay.
Question 6 asks, how do you measure student learning outcomes?
Ooh, good one.
This might seem straightforward.
It does seem straightforward, but it can be a little tricky.
Yeah, it's not just about giving exams, right?
Right. It's about showing that you have a thoughtful and comprehensive approach to assessment. So are you just looking at grades, or are you considering other measures of understanding and engagement?
Like, how are they participating in class?
Exactly. And this is where your teaching philosophy can really come into play.
Okay.
So if you believe in active learning,
Yeah.
how are you incorporating that into your assessments?
Uh-huh.
Are you using project-based learning or peer feedback
Okay.
methods that go beyond just traditional testing?
Yeah, and this is where doing a little research on the institution
Yes.
beforehand can be really helpful
Always a good idea.
to see what their assessment policies are.
Yes. Do they emphasize formative assessment?
Are they all about outcomes?
Outcomes-based education.
Yeah, aligning your answer with their values is really good.
It shows you've done your homework.
Shows you're a good fit.
You're a good fit for the culture.
Okay, let's circle back to diversity and inclusion.
Yep.
Because we talked about this a little bit earlier.
We did.
Question 4 asks, how do you ensure that students from diverse backgrounds feel included and valued in your classroom?
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit before, but again, actions speak louder than words here.
Yeah, so less generalization.
Generalizations, yeah.
More concrete examples.
Concrete examples, yeah.
So instead of saying something vague like, I treat all students with respect,
Right.
talk about how you've incorporated diverse perspectives into your syllabus.
Yes.
Facilitated discussions on sensitive topics.
With sensitivity and understanding.
Yes.
Good one.
Or a time when you adapted your teaching style
Yes.
to better accommodate students.
With different cultural backgrounds or learning preferences.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Those real-life examples
They
really paint a picture
paint a picture.
of your commitment.
Yes, and you can also mention any relevant training or professional development that you've done in this area,
Oh, that's a good point.
like workshops on inclusive teaching practices,
Or specific certifications.
certifications in diversity and equity.
Yeah, because it shows that you're not just talking the talk.
You're walking the walk.
You're walking the walk.
You're taking those concrete steps.
You're actively trying to improve
yes,
in this area.
100%.
Okay, I think this next question makes people a little nervous.
Okay.
Can you describe a time when you had to manage a difficult classroom situation?
Ooh, I do not like this one.
Yeah, but we've all been there.
We have.
This is question 7 in the guide.
It is.
And it's all about showing your problem-solving skills.
Yes.
Staying calm under pressure.
Calm, cool, and collected.
We've all had those moments.
We have.
Where things have gone a little bit sideways.
It happens.
So it's not about pretending you're perfect.
No.
It's about showing how you handle it
How you handle those tough situations.
with grace and professionalism.
Yes. Pick a specific situation.
Yeah.
Outline what the challenges were. Describe the steps that you took
To address it.
to address it.
Yeah.
And then the positive outcome.
And even if it didn't resolve perfectly,
Right.
you can still highlight
What you learned.
what you learned from it.
And how you grew as an educator.
And RoleCatcher's AI
Yes.
can give you feedback on this.
It's so helpful for this because you can practice.
You can practice different ways of framing it,
different ways of framing it and see what's most effective.
see how you come across.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to questions 8 and 9.
Okay.
These are all about mentorship and collaboration.
Ooh. 2 very important skills in academia.
So important.
Yeah.
Question 8 asks, can you describe a time when you had to mentor a colleague or a student?
Oh, mentoring is the best.
It's so rewarding.
It's so rewarding.
But it's not just about giving advice.
Right.
It's about building a relationship and providing guidance.
And empowering people.
And empowering them
to succeed.
to succeed.
Think about specific examples where you help someone develop their skills or navigate a tricky situation.
So maybe you mentored a junior colleague.
Who was new to teach
Yeah. Or you guided a student.
through a difficult research project.
And mentoring can be formal or informal.
It can.
It can be just being a supportive presence
Exactly.
in someone's academic life.
Yeah, just being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, question 9 is all about collaboration.
Okay.
Can you describe a time when you had to collaborate with other faculty members or departments?
Collaboration is key.
Essential in academia.
Absolutely. Whether you're working on research,
Curriculum development,
curriculum development, sharing best practices,
all of it.
all of the above.
So think about a time when you worked effectively
On a team,
as part of a team to achieve a goal.
what were the challenges
Uh-huh.
and how did you contribute to the team's success?
Yeah. And how did that collaboration benefit the students
Yes,
or the institution as a whole?
100%.
It's all about those positive impacts.
It is.
I love that RoleCatcher goes beyond helping individuals
Me too.
with their job search,
It's amazing.
but they provide resources for organizations,
They do for universities, schools,
even job coaches.
job coaches. It's incredible.
Yet it's a very holistic approach
It is.
to creating a more connected and supportive
Ecosystem.
job search ecosystem.
Yes,
Yeah, it really aligns with the values
it does.
of mentorship and collaboration
Yeah.
that we've been talking about.
100%.
Okay, we've covered a lot,
We have.
but we need to talk about research.
Yes, research. So even though there's not like a specific question about it in the guide,
Yeah.
it's something to be prepared to talk about.
Okay.
Think about your research interests,
Uh-huh.
your past projects, publications.
Okay.
How does your research connect to your teaching?
That's such a good point,
Yeah,
because it shows you're not just teaching from a textbook.
right.
You're bringing your own expertise
Your passion.
into the classroom,
100%.
and you're actively contributing
Yeah.
to the field.
Don't be afraid to talk about future research plans.
Oh, yeah. What are you excited to explore?
Yeah. What contributions do you hope to make?
What are some collaborative projects?
Yeah, based on that department's strengths.
Yeah, it's about painting that picture
Yes.
of yourself as a scholar
As a scholar.
and a researcher,
Pushing the boundaries of knowledge.
pushing the boundaries,
Oh, yeah.
and RoleCatcher's AI can help
It can,
showcase this on your CV
it can analyze job descriptions.
and suggest ways to highlight your publications
Highlight your research interests.
to make it stand out.
It's like having a secret weapon for your CV.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we've covered a lot of ground here.
We've covered so much.
We talked about the role of an assistant lecturer,
We did.
the key interview questions,
Yes.
how RoleCatcher can help prepare,
So helpful.
showcasing your teaching experience,
Your commitment to continuous learning.
your teaching philosophy,
Diversity and inclusion.
problem-solving skills,
Mentorship and collaboration.
research interests.
All of it.
An interview isn't just about answering questions.
Yeah. It's about telling your story.
Telling your story.
Demonstrating your passion and why you're the perfect fit.
And don't forget, the career guide mentions alternative titles
Oh, yeah.
for this role.
Teaching fellow instructor.
Expanding your search terms could open up
More opportunities.
a lot to think about.
Uh-huh.
You've got this.
You do. You have the knowledge, the skills.
And with RoleCatcher, the tools to crush it,
Go get them.
good luck out there. We're rooting for you.